How to change our thermostat. Come over here, pull right here, which we already did. So you look right here on your car. So you'll come right here. Come right around here. You feel right here? Pull this up a little. Right here you will feel. Actually right here on the edge. Under here you will pull this little latch up. Flick it up with your hand right there. And you will find it. I'll let this car cool off a little bit. I ran it just a little bit. But I want it to be completely cool. There is your thermostat. It's right there. It's 3 volts. It's not too hardcore to get to, but you want to make sure this is cold. So let it sit, let it chill, and then we'll have to take off a few of these brackets. Like, you know, you have to pull this off. You'll have to take this off, just so we can get to it, just so we can move it out of the way. You actually might be able to get to it without taking any of this stuff off, but once you see it, you'll see that you know, we need to at least move it out of the way so you can get to it. Okay. This bracket goes over here, so we pull it, and then it comes off the bottom one too. So, and you can take it, slide it off this piece, and the bracket is still tied to this, which is okay. We just want to get it out of the way, so we'll leave it on. But I have to disconnect this, okay? That's not good. Plan B, that's not coming off for a while, so we're not gonna mess with that. So I'll grab this with the pliers, and this thing was so brittle that it just snapped off. So this is stuck on there now until I change the harness out. So that's plan B now. So we're not gonna take this off. You might run into that problem. But what we're gonna do, since we have this bracket off, we're just gonna kind of move some things out of the way, like that. And we're gonna take this one off. We will take this one off and get it out of the way. And then we're gonna just take this hose off. We're gonna disconnect this hose. We'll get up underneath it. And I already got my finger on the bottom bolt. So that's what we're gonna have to do. I got one of these plier sets that you squeeze the handle, and then you set this up on, right here you'll set this up on these hose clamps, and you'll squeeze it, and then you can move it off. It makes it a little easier. Now that it's engaged, I just slip it down, and I could come in here and disconnect. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and release. Release and move this out of the way. Okay, we got it. Move it out of the way. Like I said, it's just a little more access to what we're trying to get to. So you push it out of the way, you have a little more access to. Now the next step is remove that hose as well. I'm just gonna squeeze this with my hand, takes the tension off, and then I have to pull the hose off. Oop. There's a little bit of fluid coming out. I'm gonna have to wash that off. That's very corrosive stuff, okay? You have access to get in there, okay? It's got 3 10mm bolts, and I'll show it to you on the actual housing. So you can see how it's oriented. Goes on like that. So there's gonna be 2 bolts up there, 1 on the bottom, okay? So I'm gonna kind of just come in here and loosen them up. Especially when you're on the back ones. So I'm just, oops. I busted this loose with the little ratchet that I have. I squeezed it in there. I'm going to try to just use a little wrench to get the other 2 off. And I slowed down on ratcheting this because I didn't know how far it was going to be. But as you can see, you only have a little ways to go, and then you could lose that screw easily. So I would say try to bust it loose with the little wrench on these other two. See, there's one right there, if you see it. It's right there. So I'm just going to try to get a wrench in here on it and just bust it loose. Bust the bottom one loose. We're gonna go down underneath there. Just take this one off by hand. I have to hit it one more time with the wrench. So let me just tell you a little bit of the struggle here. My little ratcheting wrench that I have that goes to it'll ratchet at 5 degrees. It fell to the skid plate. But I've had to go back 4 or 5 times underneath, just barely moving it little by little because I don't have room underneath. So it is frustrating, but that's what I had to do to get the bottom one off. Finally got it loose. I'm getting it off with my finger right now. You gotta be very careful. I got it off the bottom. The third one's a little pesky, but it's right there. I'm tempted to take off this bracket, but I honestly don't want to move any more of this stuff. So I'm gonna just kind of get it the best I can by taking it off, you know, with the little wrench. I'll get in there and go little by little, and I'll get it moving. So I did get it on there pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and bust that loose. Down in here, I actually I fished it out and went ahead and got my my ratcheting wrench underneath, because there's no way to do it without it. So I went and got it from underneath, and I am just literally ratcheting and getting that one click, just enough that maybe, yeah, now I can get this off by hand. It's starting to come off, but you do not want to drop that. Matter of fact, you want to make sure you do not drop that, because you will lose it and you cannot find it. So what we're going to do is put some paper towels underneath it. So I made a little pocket underneath to catch it so it can't fall off. You don't want it to fall off. So I'll go ahead and go back in and give it my best effort to get it off. But I want it in my hand. I don't want to go digging for it. Now we're going to pull this old thermostat off. Take a look at it. It looks like it's still functioning. Here's our new one. Here's our old one. You want to make sure they look exactly the same. And they do. So, I don't know. This one's just, could the sensor be bad? Something. It's supposed to go off at 180. This is supposed to open up and release water through the engine. Here's our new one. So this is the new one. It has a new seal already embedded in here. All right. When I took the old one off, the seal is still in here. You have to pull that old seal out. Okay. There it is. Here's the old seal. So I dipped a little new motor oil on my finger, and I just rubbed it around on this edge of this little seal. It's just so for lubrication when you're reinstalling, make sure you don't get any pinch points, abrasions, or any added friction. So when you put this in, when you tighten it, don't tighten it all down on one side. Tighten a little here, little here, little here, and go back, little here, little here, little here. And then that way you're getting a good seal. Okay, so I'm gonna put this top one on, and I'm just snugging it back on where it needs to go. All right. And I'm gonna put that top screw in right there just to get it in place and hold it. Then I'll go around putting the other ones on, and then we'll start snugging it down little by little on each. Prime example, it fell but I can get it with my magnet. So the last one's a doozy. It really is. It's a tight fit to get back there on here on this one, but you just keep trying at it and you'll get it. So at this point, you're just tightening up, tighten a little bit on each one. So we're tightening down underneath. I only found my 1/4 inch drive and what I need for this job. So this is a little 1/4 inch drive with a 10. It does help with this outer one and the one underneath, but you still need a wrench for in here because you got this tight spot. So at this point, I did let it sit a little while. At this point though, it's time to, we're gonna go ahead and slip this hose back on. So try to do your best not to splash it everywhere. Push it back on best we can. Make sure there's no kinks. That is on all the way up to the little thing. So we're going to attach our hose clamp pliers. So now it's completely clamped. We got it to where we need it. And then I'm going to release it. So we'll release it. We got it back on there where we need it. Okay. We're going to get these pliers around here. And we're going to tighten down on that. Engage the pliers again. We engaged them. And we're just going to move it up to where we know we need it. We need it about right here. And then I'm going to disengage the pliers. So we'll disengage those pliers all the way. Take it off. We have that where we need it. Now, until we have this bracket, let's go ahead and get it back in place. So we have to lock that on. Locked on to that disconnect. And then you lock the bottom piece on. This goes up and on. All right. Things are looking good. So we just need to top off our coolant. Everything looks back in play. I did do a wash off of all the antifreeze. You don't want it hitting any metal, staying on there too long because it is corrosive. We'll top off our radiator, get some coolant in there, get some coolant in the reservoir, and we'll get it going again. So what happened for me is the engine started getting a little hot. It wasn't getting it wasn't fully like steaming over. You could tell that it was starting to get hotter on the gauge, and then the AC was just blowing hot. So that thing has a thermostat of 180 degrees. So once it gets up to 180 degrees, that's supposed to kick on. Water starts flowing through your engine, through your AC system, and help your coolant system, help your AC system as well. It probably was not kicking on, and hopefully that's our issue. All tools will be listed on this job. These are a lifesaver. I think you just have to have these when you're working on these hoses. I mean, literally, you get into a little tight spot, you click that on there. You're not fighting it with a wrench, getting down in there. You just put that on there. All these tools are in the description. And so I got my antifreeze here, 50/50. It says it mixes with any color antifreeze. This is the yellow kind. It says yellow. I think I have green, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. It's probably good to flush out all your antifreeze and just redo it. But I'm gonna put this in there and I'm gonna replace what spilled out. We're halfway in between full and low, right in the middle, so we're gonna go ahead and close this up, give it a start. If you needed to change your thermostat, the first part of this video is gonna do you well. But that's not my issue that I had. And I'm gonna show you a little 2-minute video on the back end of this first thermostat video showing you what it was. So the other day my car started getting hot and boiling over, and I let it cool off, and I saw this is what was left of my cap. So basically this thing was blown out, and I'm thinking that's what it is. This radiator cap is supposed to hold a certain pressure in the system, and since this is blown out, you can't really hold the pressure. It wasn't able to hold the pressure, and it makes the boiling point lower. So at lower temperatures, it will turn it, your coolant will turn it to steam and vaporize and just evaporate out. And we're gonna put the new one on. I got a new one, and we're gonna see, because I don't have any leaks. Don't have any leaks. So let's try it out. So just top it off and let's try it. So I'm gonna fill my reservoir halfway and then top off radiator a little bit. It's 50-50 ready mix, so it's good to go. So it can mix with any color. This is the actual one that's recommended in the manual for Toyota. I will put it in the link in the description of this video. I don't see any leaks down low, so I'm not sure if I have a leak or if it's an internal leak. I think we've reached the top there. That's extremely low. I'll put the part number on the screen. Here's the old, here's the new. Okay, let's start her up and see if it's gonna overheat on us. It was dumping over, or not dumping over, whatever was here, our reserve, our reservoir was evaporating. I think it was the cap. We're about to find out. The other day it was getting super hot. It's coming up a little, but the other day at this moment it was already over. We'll see if this is it. The other day, within 5 minutes of my car being on, it was extremely hot. Now I don't know if it's going to reach a point where it just increasingly gets hotter real quick, but it's about halfway. We're holding. I think that's a fix, guys. It was the cap. Just to double check, guys. It's been 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes. It's been sitting like that. That cap was busted off like that. I guess my only concern is if it's the other piece is stuck in here somewhere, but that's a fix. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.